Hello students, welcome to week 2. You have successfully navigated our first week and you've now chosen your consulting teams. So I just wanted to post a quick video just letting you know where you need to go from here as you start to move forward in your projects. First of all, I hope you enjoyed your first week. I hope that you have found Canvas easy to navigate and the readings and the associated quizzes relatively straightforward and the discussion interesting. This will be a similar model throughout the course, only now we're going to add on the layer of the team project each and every week. So I have posted an announcement about the team project with the teams outlined. Also, I've created team groups within Canvas, so you should be able to go in and see that you're assigned to a group. That's one way to do collaborations for your project, is within Canvas, within that group page, but feel free to use whatever. You can use Google Forms and Sheets, you can do whatever works for you and your team, but just make sure that you get in touch with your team members right away so that you guys can figure out each other's schedules and you can figure out best way to contact each other, set up your weekly meetings, all those sorts of things. So now that you have your teams, your first task is to get in contact with them and to set up your initial team meeting. Each week you're going to be completing this report. Let me pull this up for you. Each week you'll have a team member designated to submit this report on behalf of the team. I only need one per team each week, where you'll put in the date, you'll put in just the basic information, put all the team members who were in attendance that week, a brief summary of the activities completed that week, activities in process, next action steps, due dates, all that sort of stuff. This is aimed at just keeping you organized as you go from week to week throughout the semester. These projects are big, you're going to be working on them, and there's going to be a lot of moving parts, so you really do need to make sure you touch base with your teammates every week and know who's doing what, who's accountable for what, get progress reports, see how you can help each other, all that kind of stuff. We've all been a part of team projects in the past for classes. Some of them have probably gone okay and some of them not so well. My experience in this class is that most students, by the end of the semester, they say that this was the first time they ever actually had a successful group or team project that they've done for a class. And it's not magic. There's basic things you can do to make sure that team projects are more successful. And this is one of the things. Just mutual accountability, mutual trust, helping people understand that they are going to rely on each other. And so a very simple way to do it, especially in an online course like this, is just through this simple form. So again, your very first task this week, touch base with your teammates, set up your initial team meeting. That can happen in person. If you're all on campus and you just want to set up a time where you can meet weekly for half an hour in person, that's great. Or if you want to do some sort of video conferencing, that's totally fine too. There's lots of video conferencing platforms out there that are free and super easy to use. So feel free to do that. Either way though, half an hour to an hour is plenty. Some weeks you'll want to meet longer, some weeks shorter, but you should plan on meeting for at least a half hour every week and fill out this form and submit it. Now, once you've had your initial team meeting, I would suggest as part of that meeting, again, talk about schedules, talk about and share contact information, but also talk about your experiences with teams in the past, things that have gone well or not so well. Talk about your expectations for this team, what you hope to accomplish. I would also encourage you to consider sharing why you chose the project you chose. Most of you got your first choice in project. Only a few of you ended up being put in your second choice. But why were you interested in that particular project? I think it's awesome early on in the forming stage of a new team for people to have kind of shared vision, shared purpose, and understand why it's important to everybody to be a part of that team. My hope is that throughout this project, not only will you grow closer together and work well together, but you'll be able to do a really great project and have great deliverables and great outcomes for your client organization. But that doesn't happen automatically. That happens through concerted effort, through mutual accountability and trust, through everyone pulling their own weight, no free riders, making sure that everyone's contributing. And if you do that, you'll be successful. These projects, I've been doing this class for 8 years, and these projects, like 99% of them, are just hit the ball out of the park successes, where the clients love them. And so I'm excited to see the same quality of projects from you this semester, and I trust that you'll be able to do that. Now, something to think about within your teams. You are accountable to each other. You will be filling out an evaluation form at the end of the semester where you will rate yourself and you will rate all of your team members. If you go into the resources and materials, you can see some of the types of things that might be helpful to you. OD readiness handout, that's something you might just look through with your team as you start conversations with your client. There's also the project charter. The very first big assignment as part of your project is that you're going to have to put together a proposal. So you can find that here. You can also find that in the assignments. But you will work together with the other team doing your same project. There's 2 teams per project. So both teams on the same project will work together to create their project proposal using this template. And that's the first big piece of the assignment, and that'll be due in a month. Once that's finished, you're off to the races in just accomplishing everything that needs to be done over the course of the rest of the semester. You will be filling out a time log, so each of you are expected to complete at least 25 hours towards this project over the course of the semester. You shouldn't have any problem with that. Log all of your team meetings, all of your time working on the project, doing research, whether that's directly on site with the organization, doing surveys, interviews, that kind of stuff, or if you're doing internet research related to the topic, anything where you're putting together presentations and reports and all that kind of stuff. All those things you will track your time, at least 25 hours per team member. That's not a hard goal to reach. Like I've already shown you, there's the weekly team meeting update form. And then come the end of the semester, there's this OD project deliverables sheet that just outlines what you're going to need to do at the end of the semester with your presentation and with your client report and all those sorts of things. So please keep that in mind. There is also, if I can find it real quick, I'll show you. Here it is, the team problems and solutions document. I encourage you to take a look at that. There's common problems that pretty much every team faces, and so this sheet will give you ideas on how to resolve those basic common issues that everyone has to deal with. I hope that you will try to resolve things first within your team, and this document can be a prompt and help you think through how you might do that. But if there are serious problems, please, by all means, reach out to me. We can talk and we can make sure that everything's going well. What I was referring to a minute ago also is your team evaluation. So come the end of the semester, you will fill this out for yourself and for each other, where you're going to rate your quality and quantity, as well as identify any dysfunctional behaviors as a part of your team. Again, you'll do it for yourself, you'll do it for each of your team members, and add any comments. This holds you accountable to each other. You also have the ability to fire people off of your team. So if you get, into the project a little bit and you have someone who not only isn't contributing, but maybe they're really distracting or they're inhibiting, it is an option that you could fire that person off of your team, and then they will have to do an alternative project. In the 8 years I've been teaching this class, that's happened exactly one time, so I don't anticipate that needing to happen. Most of the time, those sorts of things can be resolved, but keep in mind that you are accountable to each other, and it's not an automatic that just because you have a team that they can pull the weight for you in this class and do everything. You have to contribute. I also expect for your team projects to be top-notch. You may choose based on your own priorities and your own life situation that some of the other individual elements of this class are things you're not going to worry that much about, or spend that much time on. That's your choice. Of course, I don't take that personally. You have to make your own choices on those sorts of things. But if you choose, for example, to be a C student and the individual stuff on the class, that's fine. It's not fine, though, if you choose to be a C student on your group project, because not only are your teammates counting on you, but the client, it's a real client, they really need your help on these projects. They're counting on you for a top-notch project. And you reflect yourself, your team, me, the business school, UVU. It's important that you do a top-notch project. And my expectation is that every team should do an A project. It's my job to help you get to an A project, and I will try to give any assistance that I can, but you need to just understand that. If you want to find ways to cut corners in this class, do it on the individual stuff. Do not do it on the team project. And if you try to do it on the team project, simply you won't pass the class. The team project makes up the vast majority of the points for the class, and you need to make sure that you are contributing. And if you don't contribute, that will show up in the team evaluations, and I will see it too. I'll see, who's participating in team meetings. I'll see how things are moving forward, and looks like there's a fire drill, so I'm going to stop there. I hope that you guys all have a good start to your project. Please touch base with each other. And I'm going to have to end it here because there's a fire drill. Thanks.